Hello magical family, welcome back to my channel, The Wizarding Sibs. Today I have a different kind of video for you guys because I am going to take you through some of my magical Christmas decorations. Alright, so I am in the Christmas spirit. I put up my tree last week. I'm so proud of myself. This is the very first Christmas tree that I have on my own. I guess the other Christmas trees has been my family's, but now I'm married, I've moved out, and so I wanted to celebrate our first Christmas together with a Christmas tree. As you can see, it's not very Harry Potter like. It's more modern. I was trying to go for this Dr. Seuss vintage like whimsical rustic feel. So yeah, that's my tree. But initially I wanted to put the Department 56 village underneath the tree. So have all the Harry Potter items like Diagon Alley underneath the tree. But I noticed that it was way too crowded. I think it would look really odd and kind of take away from the Christmas decor here. So that is why I've decided to put it in a different room. So because there was no space in front of the tree, I decided to maybe do the village in front of the entryway so that once you walk into our house, it's a magical setting for you. So as you can see right here, right next to the washroom, we do have this tiny entryway table. I cleared it off the vases and I started to set up the village just to see if they would fit. Now I do have more pieces than this. I actually have the burrow, but it will not fit on this. So we'll see. I don't like things cluttered, and even this is a bit too cluttered for me, but I need to display them. I want to switch out this mirror display thing for something more festive, so I'm trying to look for a wreath. But yeah, I'm gonna document my process for you guys so that you can see how this basic wooden table transforms into a magical village. All right, so this came in the mail today. It is the electric hot needle thingy to cut foam. I don't know what this tool is called, but it also comes with this where you can be more precise with the cutting. I've only watched a few YouTube videos, so honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is my piece of foam. I don't even know if this is the right foam, but I kind of tested it and I think I can cut into it. So we're just gonna YOLO this. As you can see, the platform of this is way too big. So I'm probably gonna have to put some foam on this side to just make it more of a mountain shape. And then I'm gonna have to carve in the rocks and stuff like that. That's my understanding of what I have to do. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys how easy I think this cuts. Whoa. Oh my God, it's steaming. Frick.
Now that he's carved the rough shapes he likes, Albert is going to refine the carving process and make individual...
Okay, I just did my first piece. It's a test run, but I basically added some texture to this piece over here. I think it looks decent. I don't know. I literally just melted the styrofoam as I went and gave it some texture that I hope looks like a rock texture. What do you guys think? I really need to get better glue. I'm using a random glue gun, but I basically stuck this on to make a bit more of a ledge. It is a weird shape right now, but I mean, cliffs kind of look like this sometimes. So then I'll start carving now. I mean, I think it's stuck together enough. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing this mountain. It does fit now. I mean, I had to trim off maybe a bit more, or I can just leave it, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it looks like. And then I think once I start trimming this, it'll look a lot better. Okay, so I'm just trying to, again, mold it so that it is kind of entirely covered. I realize that I kind of don't want to have to redo this again later. So I'm just adding a bit more texture. It's not completely straight or perfect, but again, it is a cliff and I can fill it with scrap stuff. All right, so I think I'm done carving the mountain face. I tried to make it look like there's like a natural cliff here. All around, I just texture. Ooh, sound of styrofoam. Yeah, so now I get to go to the fun part, which is to paint it and see what it looks like. All right, so I got these 3 paints ready to go from Michaels. This one is the color Clover, so that's good for any greenery or moss. And then this one is Burnt Umber. It's more like a brown, earthy brown tone. And then I have this neutral gray, so kind of for the rocks. So I think I'll start with painting this whole thing with this gray, and then on top I will add the brown, layer the brown and green. All right, so let's start off with the gray. I haven't painted in ages. Doing this. Is it painting? It's kind of not getting into the crevices. Okay, because this brush basically sucks. I switched to a smaller brush just to be able to get into like those nooks and crannies. It's actually much easier painting with a smaller brush. All right, so I finished painting the base. This is what it looks like all around. It's just a rock, but I'm gonna have to add more depth with some other colors. Brown is a bit too brown, so I'm gonna mix it with the gray, and then I'm lightly brushing it on the whole part just to add a bit more texture and color and depth.
Just might be going over it. I like that when the rock is a bit craggy.
Bit of brown. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. Again, most of this is going to be covered by the castle. I couldn't do a huge base, even though I would have liked to, because there's just no room on my shelf. So the castle's pretty much covering almost all of this part. All right, now I'm gonna do the fun part, which is adding some green randomly onto some parts so that it looks a bit like moss. Okay, so I think the base is done. I have weathered it. I have put color into it, mossed it around. Yeah, so I think it is a pretty good match for the Hogwarts castle to go on top, but we'll see. I just need to make sure it's completely dry. The next thing I'm gonna do is I need to make a stand for the Whomping Willow. This is basically the situation of the base with the Shrieking Shack, because I am just using materials that I have from packaging. So we're gonna have to just work with this and hope that it works. I don't know. I was thinking that, yes, there's like a little cavern here, but maybe this could be like the entrance to the Shrieking Shack. So you know how there was a button they press in the Whomping Willow and then they slide down? I mean, I can obviously take scraps and like cover it a bit more as we go on and sculpt. You can see I have it on this, and now I'm just gonna start cutting away these pieces. It's like cutting a cake. It's actually so fun to do. It's just, I'm just gonna shape it into a bit more of a mountain, I guess. I basically made the base. I've kind of made a bit of a tunnel-like thing, so this is what it looks like. The back, it also has a bit of a weird crevice here, but that's okay. Mountains are like that. So you can see there is some texture here, but I'm gonna have to add a lot more. I started doing it on the front. You can see it's more textury. So when I paint, it'll look more like rock. I think this texture looks pretty good, so I'm gonna start painting now. All right, right now I'm just painting this vase. It has been a really long time since I've been this crafty, but I don't know. I feel like this season I've been very creative. It was the first time that I ever planned and decorated my own tree. Obviously got inspo from like Pinterest or whatever, but I've never in my life made anything like this. And I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to get into miniatures and making buildings, but I don't know. I never was motivated enough, I guess. But this definitely makes a huge difference to the whole diorama. It makes it look like the castle looks like 10 times more epic being on a mountain. Because when it's on flat ground, it doesn't look like Hogwarts. That's why I was kind of hesitating about this one versus like the Noble Collection version. But after putting it on the mountain, it looks really good.
Candace is busy, hard at work. What are you doing, Candace?
I'm making
You must
my
narrate.
thing.
This.
Yeah. Oh, you can stop. I just need a bit. Okay, so these are my 2 completed mountains. I cannot believe that I made this. Wow. I have always wanted to do miniatures, like I said, guys. So this is the first time I actually took a step towards actually doing something. Anyways, I'm super pleased with how they turned out. Like, I personally think they really look like rocks. Actually, am I allowed to say this? But I think my rock looks better than the actual rock on, on the Department 56 item. Okay guys, this is the space that I am currently working with. I cleared it out. This is usually where we have our mask and keys when we come in for the front entryway. As you can see, there's this mirror here, but it's a very non-Christmassy setup. So in order to make it welcoming right when you step in through the door, I decided that this is where I'm going to do my Harry Potter Village. Now, this table is not very big, so we're going to have to try to squish everything together. So first off is I'm going to add snow. I purposely bought fake snow for this. I think I bought the wrong one at first. But now I do have this one, which it's a Christmas holiday cover. So this is where it's not just buffalo snow. This is where it's more flat, like a mat. So I think, yeah, if you roll it out like this, it's like a blanket. So I think I could just put it flat like this. That makes my job so much easier. Yeah, so I guess this is an alternative for snow, just as a base. So I'm gonna have to cut this, I think. Next, we have this kind of cobblestone felt material. If I had more time and I wasn't as lazy, I would actually have done the cobblestone myself, but this will have to do. So this one fits actually perfectly right on top. That looks really good, I think. Okay, so we're gonna start placing the houses right now, the little villages. So I have Hogwarts Castle here on the mountain that I built. I'm just very proud of that. Honeydukes here. We have the 3 broomsticks. I need to leave space for the Whomping Willow there. Okay, let's see. Which one goes next again? I think it was this one. The Owlery. So I already have these plugged in from before. Wow, they all fit, don't they? I have to think of ways to position this better. So, you know, if I put them one in front of the other, let's see. I think that looks good. What do you think? Oh, it's so cute. And then basically I have this snow. Now this is the buffalo snow. So I think it was really important that I have this here because before I didn't and it looked kind of weird. But now the buffalo snow, I'll take and I'll just kind of fill in and then we can hide the cords this way too. This one can be put down more. But yeah, the buffalo snow. Just hide the cords. How does that look? Ta-da. Yeah, and then we just go all around. We're still waiting for the Whomping Willow to dry, but for now, I just want to test try to see if the lights work. So with a push of the button, wait, with the push of the button, woo! Wow! How does that look? It's not completely done yet because I have to put it on the figurines actually. Yeah.
It looks pretty sweet.
I have these figurines from Department 56. At first I was not going to get them, but then I realized they add so much character to the village and you kind of, I don't know, it makes it so much better. So I have the trio going for butterbeer with Professor Slughorn and he's spilling his butterbeer everywhere. I do have Malfoy waiting for the Hogwarts Express. He looks very irate. Now, I don't actually have the Hogwarts Express here because there's no room, but who knows, maybe in the future I will. So I love the detail on him. So he can go right here. And I have Dumbledore. Dumbledore also comes with another Harry, but I already have one Harry here and it's small enough. So I think I'll just put Dumbledore and he can hang out at Ollivanders or Gringotts. And then lastly, I love these two. It is Fred and George Weasley. Now, I do have the burrow from Department 56, but as you can see, there is no room. So I kept it mainly to Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade. But these guys will go great with the burrow. But they also go great with Weasley's Wizard Wheezes right in front of their shop. And I love how they're wearing their matching sweaters. They're so cute. Oh my God, it looks so good with people. It fills the negative space. Oh my God, this caused us so much trouble. I wish I taped it. But basically, my plan initially was to have this Whomping Willow over here, but it wasn't working because I didn't take into account that it spins, so it kept hitting the wall, and we had to keep rearranging things, and nothing was working. So I finally decided to stick it over here, but then I made the platform big enough only to fit the castle. So this is actually sticking off, and then we had to balance it with a random bottle underneath and cover it with snow. But I actually like this effect a lot better because it's more like the Whomping Willow is on Hogwarts grounds now and the car is going around. So in fact, it turned out for the better, but it was a hassle trying to make it work. But yeah, the village is actually coming together. It is still a bit too crowded for my liking, but what can I do? I need to show off these buildings. Now that I have this mat here, it is a bit flat and I want it to be more fluffy. And the good thing is, because it's kind of the same type of snow material, it sticks. So now it's much easier to stick on this buffalo snow, right? Like this, and it sticks. That's perfect. So now I'm gonna create kind of a bit of a barrier like that. I have some decorative snow here. It's the final sprinkling for this village that we are doing. So. Does that look nice?
Can I go back to watching Boris now?
Yeah, thank you.